Hello, in this video I'm going to show some different layouts that I've put together using a 6x6 card blank. What I've used for these cards is a digital download collection from the Crafty Witches called Llama Love. Now this is a mini collection. You have 2 topper sheets, an insert sheet, a sentiment sheet, 6 pattern papers and 2 plain coloured papers. Hopefully in my cards you'll see the different papers that you get in this collection. Now I have cut out all my mats and layers and also stuck them together just to save time, but we'll go over the measurements as I do each card. So first of all, this one I've already attached my insert to. The original insert of course is a lot larger, as you can see, than the one I've got. So with it being a digital download, before I printed, I reduced my insert down to 65% and then printed that, which I think attaches into the inside of a 6x6 card perfectly. Well, I'm happy with that. So for my first card, I've got one of the papers, and this measures 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters. So I'm just going to attach this to the card. Sorry, just moved it all. Right. Now, the next layer that I've cut is I've got some white card and some other pattern paper. Just get my ruler out just to make sure I've got the right measurement. So I cut a square from white paper measuring 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, and then cut it in half to make the triangle shape. And then the paper is 9.5 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. Cut it in half, and then I've mat and layered them together to make this triangle. Now I'm going to attach that with some foam pads. I'm just going to attach it to the corner here. Then I've got one of the square toppers, and I've rounded the corners off with a corner cutter. This is the one I have, just to round the corners off. So I've got my white card mat that measures 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, and the topper measures 9.5 centimeters by 9.5 centimeters. I'm just going to again use foam pads because I've already used foam pads on the triangle there, and it's going to uplift all the images. So just going to attach that on there. So a small amount of glue there. Just make sure I get that level. And then what I did, I've reprinted the image off again, and I cut out some of the parts. So I've got the flowers, the bow on the llama's bottom, and the flowers from the llama's head. So I'm just going to use my foam pads and pop those in place. I mean, I could have cut all of the image out and decoupaged it on, but I just thought some of the smaller elements just gives it a different look. Just a different 3D look. Now I've just put foam pad on the centre part and then glue down the other edges there. It makes, I don't know if you can see on the camera, no it's too bright, it just gives it a beveled look. And then we've got the flowers. Looks like I've got a bit of sun there because it looks, yeah, the sun's coming through the window and it's making the image look a little bit glary at times. So, but I think it's gone now. There we go, and then there's my flowers there. So as you can see the decoupage stands out using the foam pads. So that's the first layout and the insert for a 6x6 card. Just pop that one there. Now this is our second one. Oh, sorry, I actually forgot the sentiment for the first one. There we go. So what I should say is that all we've used here is a topper. The sentiments come on the topper sheet, two pattern papers and just some white card there. So this is the next one. So this measures 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters. My sizes are just a rough size. You might want to use smaller or bigger mats and layers to start with. Now this one is going to go there. So that one measures 14 centimeters by 10 centimeters. I'm just going to attach that with glue too. Okay, and then here's our topper. So I've used white card, printed off the coloured card, the plain colour card, and then a topper. So the white card is 8.5 centimeters by 8.5. Then the colour card is 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters, and then the topper, and that measures just about 7.5 centimeters. Now, so that's going to go there, and you can foam pad this or wet. I'm just going to wet glue it. So I'm just going to pop that there, and then here to decoupage the topper, I'm going to cut round the inner square around the flowers, and I'm going to decoupage that on there. If I wanted to, I could have cut around the llama and the flowers and use that instead, but we're just going for a simple version. That, and then I've got one of the small sentiments and I've matted that with white card. The card is 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters, so then the sentiment is about 3.5 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters. And I'm just going to pop a foam pad on the edge of that. I'm just going to let that one overhang there. Okay, so it's a different layout than the first one we did. Now the inside, instead of using an insert, I thought I'd show a different inside. So I've cut some coloured card at 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters, and then some white card to write your message on, and that measures 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters. That's card number 2. Now this time I've used one of the circle toppers. Stuck to there. So again, my first mat layer is always 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters, and then the white card here is 13.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. And then what I've done this time is use a corner die I can never get them right to how I've cut the pattern. There you go. And they're just going to go there. Now you can attach them with glue if you want it flat, but I'm going to foam pad each of the corners. It's just going right on the edge of the white card. Just make sure that one's level. There you go. Oops. And I think you can just see the difference in the height there. Then I've gone for the I think this is the largest topper on the topper sheet, and this time I've gone for a blue colour card on the back, and just use a circle die to cut both of those out. Because I've made the corners with the foam pads, I'm just going to put this one just with glue, just so the corners have more height than the centre. There you go. And then I've cut some flowers out for one of the toppers. I'm just going to use foam pads and attach to the side. These are all very simple designs, but they do look quite effective as well. So just going to give the llama some flowers down there, and that's that card. Just very quick and simple with just some corners and a circle topper. Now this time the inside, again I've cut a piece of colour card at 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters and the white card at 13.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. So this one is just like the second card that we did for the inside. But this time, to add to it, to save it so it's not so plain, I'm just going to attach one of the toppers. So I've cut around this llama topper. I think it was a round top, I'm not too sure, on the sheet, but I've cut around it. I'm just going to attach it on the inside, and you've still got plenty of room there to write your message. There you go. Okay. So that one's card number 3. So this is our 4th card. So first layer, 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters and 13.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters on the paper. Again, this one is just quite a simple layout. And these are some smaller square toppers. And I've used the plain pink card on the back for a matte layer, and that measures 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters. So, and the toppers are slightly over 5.5 centimeters, but it still gives enough border space around the outside. So this, we're going to just attach foam pads to the back. So this one I'm putting at the top corner. And this one I'm going to put at the bottom corner. Yeah, that one's, so you've got one in the top corner, one in the bottom corner. And this is one of the small sentiments. The matte layer is 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. And the sentiment is just over 3.5 centimeters. And I'm just going to get some small pieces of foam pads. I'm going to have to double it up because these are already got foam pads on them. And I'm just going to pop a small amount of glue, and this one is just going to go diagonally straight across there. Okay, now I'm going to leave that like that because I think it's quite effective, but you could put something in these corners like a flower, or even just some pearls to go there, but I'm going to leave my design like that. Now on the insert, so this time I've cut the insert down, so I have still printed it out, so the insert's printed out at 65%. I've cut some plain card for the matte layer, so that measures 14 by 14. and the insert I've cut down to 13.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters. Now the image is off to one side, so what I did is cut the llama image that's on the insert on the other side, and I'm just going to attach that to there. Again, it's just showing a different way to do the inside of your card. I do feel that the inside of your card does matter as much as your front of your card. I'm just going to attach that there. There you go. So that's an insert and the front of our card. Now this is the last card that I've put together. So we have the front, and then we have another different insert on the inside. So I'm just going to move those pieces out of the way for a second. Now this time we've got our colour card that measures 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters. I've then used white card that measures 13.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters, and then pattern paper that measures 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters. So that's just basic mat and layering. That to the front. And then I've got one of the square toppers that I've made just a plain white card mat for. So that's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters for the white card, and the topper measures about 9.5 centimeters by 9.5. So I printed this topper out twice, and I've cut out the actual image, I've left a small border around the outside so I didn't have to exactly cut in between the leaves and the llama's feet. So I'm going to attach that straight to the centre. Of glue poking out there, and use foam pads to attach the image. Oops, that was a bit extra sticky. Corners seem to be popping up there. So I've just attached the foam pads to the back of the llama image. I'm just going to place that exactly where the original image is. There you go. You can see about there the decoupage height there, and I've got a small sentiment which I think I'll just leave flat and just attach some glue, and just attach that there. So that's the front of our card. Now for the inside, again, this one has a completely different insert to it too. So show you what I've done. So we've got two of the same mats and layers, is exactly the same as what was on the front, which you can see there. So you need, both the two pieces are 14 centimeters by 14 centimeters, white card 13.5 centimeters by 13.5 centimeters, and the pattern paper 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters. I'm going to attach these on the inside. on there. Bit crazy with the glue on that bit. And the other one to the other side. Just get those level. Make sure I haven't moved anything on the front. Probably better to do the inside first, but anyway. So now we have got a plain square. I've got a topper and 2 small squares. So to make this insert different, well, inside of the card different, we have a piece of extra card. Now this card I've just literally cut it from another 6x6 card. It's just because then the measurements work out exactly what you need for the inside. So from another 6x6 card I've cut a strip measuring 3 centimeters, and then of course that's your original fold, and then I've just scored and folded both of the other sides equally into each other, so it's all equal sizing. And this is just going to sit in our centre there. Now the only thing I have to be careful of is because these 2 larger squares go on the side, and we just need to make sure that when we attach we have enough room to attach them to, because then that one will go there, and then when we close nothing pokes out of your card at all. So I'm just going to add glue to this part. So that needs to be with your centre part there. So I'm just going to pop that down to make sure we're in the right position. I'm just going to move that up. Yep, I think it's about there. Because then when you stretch this, your 2 folds are in the correct place. So to get the other side in the right place, fold this all up and then just close your card up. And then it will be exactly in the right place. So when you open, there's no guessing to where that part needs to go. Okay, so now I'm just going to attach, my square topper. The mat layer for this is 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters, and the topper is just over 7.5 centimeters. Just touching that, leaving a small white border just to the end there, so it all folds up nicely. And I've done exactly the same this side, so the same measurements on the blue card is 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters, and then 7.5 centimeters by 7.5 centimeters. So this can be then where you can write your message to whom you may give the card to. Just trying to get the dots on the paper are not equal. So I'm just, yeah, there you go. That's about right. And then these 2 toppers are just going to attach to the centre parts there. So you just need a small some glue down the centre. There you go. And then the other one. Here. So, and it all folds nicely closed, and there's the inside of one 5th card, yeah, and the front. So just clear these out the way, and we'll just go through our cards again. So the first card, our llama with a normal insert that has been reduced down to 65% and printed off. So we'll pop that there. Then our second card here, that's where I just did a plain inside. Our third card with plain inside, but then excuse me, then a topper cut out and attached just for a bit of decoration. Our fourth card here with the insert being matted, cut down, matted and layered, and then the llama part of the insert being attached to. And then move those out of the way. And then our fifth card here, again with a different inside. So like I said in the start of the video, I've just put together all these 5 different ways that you can use your 6x6 card and these papers with all these different matte and layer designs. If you're posting out, maybe you don't want to decoupage it, so you maybe can not cut these pieces out and just leave it flat, or not use your foam pads on some of them. Excuse me. And so there you go. There's our like I said, there's our 5 cards with 5 different inserts, and all I used is the Llama Love digital download collection from the Crafty Witches. I hope you enjoy this video and the different layouts that I've shown you for these 6x6 cards. Thank you. Bye.